feed my people. That's Jeremiah 3 and 15.
Now I did something I should have brought. I got a Hebrew New Testament. I got a New Testament in the Hebrew, and I got that book when I first came in the truth about almost 28 years ago. About 28 years ago, and I hadn't. Don't try to get the book. You ain't gonna find that book. All right. I mean, if I find out that it's still out there, I'll let y'all know where to get the book. So what I did was I said in Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse, it said, and he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in his right hand or in his forehead, right? So I went to the Hebrew New Testament and I went to Revelation 13 and 16, and I looked up the word in the Hebrew. The word is actually the word is cha-war-yum. Cha-war-yum. I'm gonna spell it out. Cha-wa-ra-ya and a final ma. Cha-war-yum. That's the word for mark in the book of Revelation. In the Greek, it's the word charagma. All right? But in the Hebrew, the word is ka-war-yum. Now in the Greek, the word for charagma, from the word mark, means an imprinted mark. And it comes from the word, you said it earlier, it stemmed from the word karax, which means a stake. You know, if you want to put a tent up, you want the tent, you got rope on the tent and you want the tent to stay up, you take stakes and you take a hammer and you nail the stake into the ground. So what do you do when you nail the stake into the ground? You're making a hole in the ground, right? So that stick, that thing, that karax can stay in there. Right. And that's the same thing with the chip. They're going to actually put a hole in you to put that chip in there. Now going back to the Hebrew New Testament, the word ka-war-yum or ka-war, all right, means hole or cave. It means hole or cave. Like I said, when you put up a tent and you take a stake, you can't put up a tent without stakes. You take that stake, you take it into the soil of the earth, and you create a cave or a hole, and you put that stake in there, and that's what holds that tent up. So that's what the word means. So I had to do it. I had said, let me see what's the Hebrew word for that. All right?
You got a scripture.
Go ahead, Art.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 11. Wherefore, set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed.
And that's plain and to the point. Because you got people that want to get this understanding. All you got to do is go into the Word. But now, when you go into the Word, you got to have men of understanding break it down to you.
Right.
All right?
Interpretation.
Interpret it. Yep.
Right. If I may say this all the time, because sometimes you'll go to the Blue Letter Bible, and they'll go off on the definition.
They'll go off. Yep.
You know, just because you see us go there doesn't mean that everything they say is on point. That's where the discernment comes in. You know, and then that's where experience comes in. You know, when you have the foundation of the truth, then you're able to go into it and you know how to pick out what's right and what's wrong. You know. Matter of fact, this is dealing with another subject, but along the same lines. This is Malachi chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, and that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spares his own son that serveth him. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. So the same way you could tell somebody's serving the Lord or not, the same way when you go out there and you look into this information, you can tell what's true and what's false. Now this guy, false prophet 666, I guess about a year ago, he did a video on the new moon is not a Sabbath, and he called himself breaking it down. So I said, you know, let me watch. You know, I watched the first part. So let me watch this bullshit this guy's saying. So I'm, you know, waiting for him, you know, because I knew the main scripture he was gonna go to was Amos 8 and 5. So I'm waiting for him to break it down. So this guy gonna go and go into the commentators and read what the commentators said about that particular scripture. I said, this guy's a fucking joke, man, because he trusts in that more than he trusts in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So that's why experience is a key. Now the scriptures say that gray hairs are honorable if they are in righteousness, something to that effect. So just because somebody got gray hairs don't mean that they're righteous or that they have counsel or wisdom, but gray hairs do bring forth experience. Yeah.
A lot of members in the Illuminati have gray hair.
Yeah,
Hair turn white.
you got old fools.
You got old fools.
You know, you got old fools. Even a matter of fact,
yeah, because the Illuminati, the Rothschilds are old fools, man.
Yeah.
Because they didn't consider their latter end. They don't realize they're doing all this shit. They got their stupid plans, like they going the whole New World Order thing. Well, all that thing is going to backfire, and they know it's going to backfire, man. They know it's going to backfire. They know that they're going into slavery, all right, and they know they're going to be exterminated. That's why they're paying guys off. We know for a fact that they paid off General Gonorrhea. We know for a fact that they paid off Nate Satan Hot Dog. We know that for a fact, man.
Their organizations enlarged tremendously in the last couple of years.
That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing, man. You saw the movie 300?
Yeah.
We're like the 300, man. You know? And they're Xerxes.
With all the armies.
All the army plus the big.
There's people coming out all over the place.
Yeah, that was
Right out. Oh yeah, well, he killed the South. That guy killed the South, man. We know the spirit of that guy. He committed suicide. Yeah, that big demon. When they cut the chains off, he started killing his own men. If you see, he was killing his own men. Dude was like a crazy demon, man.
Like Philistines.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And that actually happened, man. Now you know King Leonidas was a Jake. He was an Israelite. You know how you know? They showed the big bushy beard. You know, and the guy that played him, he's Scottish. And his name is what?
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. Yep.
This going off of the original Scottish people were black anyway, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The royalty, man.
Yep.
You know?
They were black.
I got something real quick, Elator. This is Job chapter 12, verse 20. He removeth away the speech of the trusty and taketh away the understanding of the age. Like we were speaking about old
the
fools.
war of
I'll read that again.
the Battle of Hastings.
He removeth away the speech of the trusty and taketh away the understanding of the aged. So just because somebody's old don't mean that they're wise. You know, like we said, you got old fools. You know, and those the so-called Illuminati, they're a bunch of fools because, matter of fact, this
they haven't considered their latter end.
Khan.
And well, didn't the Lord say he would put this wisdom in the mouth of babes?
Khan.
That he might.
Which is us.
Yeah, which is us. I'll read that. That's Psalm 8 and 8.
Can I read this real quick?
Yeah, of
This
course.
is Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Which is what? The biggest fools on the planet Earth is Esau, beginning with the elites. Because if they were so wise, they wouldn't be destroying the earth like they've been destroying it. You know? And the only reason they're in the position that, excuse me, that they're in is because the Most High put them in that position.
Oh, Isaiah 24 and 5. Isaiah 24 and 5.
Okay. This is the book of Isaiah.
And this cuts these devils, man. The so-called Jew, the chief so-called Jew, which are the Illuminati. You know?
Isaiah chapter 20.
And you know these peon so-called Jews, they know about the Rothschilds. Cause I had to get a camera. I had to get a camera for these brothers, for them to film another camera. Yo, this camera's bad, brother. It's a $400 camera. I went down to B&H last week, And when you go down there, they're all so-called Jews that see them.